Hello to those who are joining.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Bill.
Hey, how you
How you
doing?
doing? Good.
I'm well, thank you.
You're good.
Thank you for calling the Costco Pharmacy.
Hi, Larry. Hi.
Hey guys.
Hello. How
Well,
are you doing?
All right, how are you?
Good.
Very nice.
Thank you for joining.
I'm a little early, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. We'll get started in a few minutes here. Should be expecting a couple more people here. We'll get started in about 2 minutes here.
Why do I not have audio?
What's going wrong with that Texas Roadhouse? shooting out with Jackie and Michelle again?
I don't have to do video, right? All right, I have 6:30 here. So what we'll do is, I believe we're still expecting a few more participants, so they'll just come on in as they come. But what I'm going to do is mute everyone until we have our presenters speak, just so that we don't have any distracting background noise. You'll be able to unmute yourself when we open up for questions, but I just ask that you stay muted unless you're a presenter, so that we don't have any noises to distract us. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Alrighty. All right. So just some introduction. So my name, it says Cortland Bowles. I'm in his account, but my name is India McMiller. I am the Learning for Life executive with Three Harbors Council, and I'm also the WREATH sale advisor. We have on the call Cheyenne. I don't know if you want to say hi really quick.
Hi. Sorry,
Hi.
I'm checking people in. That's why I've got my picture up. So
Yes, so Cheyenne is, she also works in Learning for Life. She is the director for the program, and she is the popcorn sale advisor. We also have Bill Knack in here, if you want to wave, Bill. Yeah, and he is with Noble Valley Reads. I believe we should have Brian Mandolin, who is also from Noble Valley. If he's not in, we are expecting him to come in later. And then who else do we have? Brian from Pecatonica. Do you want to introduce yourself really quick? And you can just unmute yourself.
All right. Hey, everyone. This is Brian from Pecatonica. I'll talk with you very shortly. No bad jokes this year. I'm going to get you in and out.
Awesome, thank you. And so just how we're going to do things, we're going to start off covering the WREATH sale portion of the training. So if you're just selling wreaths, you're free to leave after that portion. And if you are doing popcorn, we ask that you just hang in there. If you're only doing popcorn, just hang in there as we go over wreaths. If you are, so Bill and then Brian, if he joins us from Noble Valley, once we're done with reads, you all are free to leave unless there's any questions that we have from members, but just to give you all an idea of the flow of training. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We have a few more participants coming in. We're pretty much at the number of those who registered. So again, we'll just have more participants trickle in. And this is being recorded. So if there's something that you may have missed, we're going to be putting this up on the product sales page. So that's threeharborsscouting.org. And you can do /popcorn or /reads, and it'll take you to the same page. And so that's where we have all of our resources for the sale. There will be order forms, leader guide, these recordings, all of those resources will be there. So we'll have that up online for you. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started with our presentation. All right, so again, thank you all for taking time out of your night to come join us on this virtual training. Of course, we had to shift things from in-person to virtual with complications from COVID and whatnot. So I appreciate you all being flexible. So here we go. Again, we're starting out with REATH. I'm just gonna move this down a little bit so it's not too distracting. Okay. All right, so just a quick overview of our presentation. We are going to go over our 2019 sales report. So just a snapshot of how our sales did last year, information on joining the sale and why that's important. Sale dates, some will align for popcorn and REATH, some differ, so we'll go over that. The logistics of the sale, incentives, resources, and any questions you all may have. And again, our vendors are Pecatonica, River Popcorn, and then we have Noble Valley Farms and Northwoods REATHs for our REATH sale. So in 2019, Scouts and Free Harbors Council sold more than $200,000 in REATHs and more than $750,000 in popcorn. Over $100,000 of our REATH sales went directly to the units that sold and also to Three Harbors Council. And nearly $550,000 of our sales for popcorn went directly to those units selling popcorn and also to our council. Scouts themselves used these funds from the sales to pay for their program, and units use the funds to pay for expenses such as charter renewal, awards and recognition, and unit activities and campouts. So if you know that your unit really wants to participate in a certain event, but maybe don't have the funds, this is a great opportunity to gain those funds. And it also is a great experience for Scouts to, maybe if they haven't participated in sales, to kind of learn how to communicate with others, how a sale works. So there's a lot of different skills that they can learn with this, in addition to being able to fund experiences for the scouting program. So hopefully everyone that has joined has already signed up to participate in the sale. But if not, or if you have other people ask questions, the resource page that I was talking about where the recording of this training will go, that's also where you sign up to participate in the popcorn and or REATH sale. So again, that's threeharborscouting.org. You can go to, from the main page, you can go to fundraising, it'll take you to the popcorn and REATH page, or you can do threeharborscouting.org/popcorn or threeharborscouting.org/REATHs, and it'll take you directly to this page. And then we have a column for REATH sale resources and popcorn sale resources. And so the first option you'll have for both is to sign up to sell. And so this is just confirming that you're participating in the sale. And there are separate instructions to sign up for our vendors for each sale. So it's a two-part process. So again, this is committing to participate in the sale, but then you'll also have to take steps to register with our individual vendors as well, so that you'll be able to have access to place your orders and whatnot and look over your invoices. Okay, and we also have a lot of other resources, and we'll probably get to that a little later, but this is where we have our leaders guide, our schedule, any tips on selling, popcorn prize order form, they're all in the same section. So just to highlight some important dates for the REATH sale, we will be starting on September 11th. Oh, I need to change these dates because the 11th, I believe, is a Friday. Let me just confirm. Yeah, so Blitz Weekend, that is going to be having our Scouts focus on selling our Fallen Hero REATHs the first weekend of the sale. So that should say September 11th through September 13th, because it's that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the first Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the sale. So sorry about that typo, but right here, this will say September 11th through the 13th. The sale ends on October 23rd, and we're asking that units submit all final orders online by October 28th. So we give you guys a little bit of a buffer to make sure you collect all of the order forms from Scouts and have that online submitted by 5 p.m. One change this year from past years is that we are doing our wreath distribution at one site, and that's going to be at State Fair Park on November 7th. In the past, we've had 2 sites at Camp Odakota and State Fair Park, but at the request of our vendor and in discussion with us, we all decided that it would probably work better to just have one site, just consolidate everything, make everything more mainstream, or streamlined. So again, November 7th, that is our only date for distribution, and that will be at State Fair Park. About a week from that date is when we are asking units to notify us of any damaged product. So that could be not just damaged product if you're missing something, if you're missing an item, if you're missing ribbons on an item or pine cones on an item. If something is wrong with your order, that you let us know no later than November 13th by noon. And so you can contact us, you can give us a call, you can email us, and we'll have the contact information later in the presentation, but just make sure that you reach out to us by November 13th for any issues regarding your order. And then the next month in December is when we're asking for all payments to be submitted, all final payments. So that is going to be on Thursday, December 3rd. So we're asking for all payments to be submitted. And then that following Saturday is when we will have our annual Fallen Hero ceremony at Southern Wisconsin Veterans Memorial Cemetery in Union Grove. For those who aren't aware, this is a really wonderful event that we put on to honor those who have served in the military. And we have our Fallen Hero wreaths that's part of the sale, but if anyone purchases a wreath, it's a donation. So there will be no physical product received for that customer. That product will be donated to this Fallen Hero ceremony. So we have a program, and then scouts, family, friends are all invited to place those Fallen Hero wreaths on the grave sites of those that have fallen and served for us. This is just a quick snapshot of the products that we're offering. Pretty similar to last year, except for we have a new item, the Festive Holiday Chandelier. So that's something that we're excited to offer you all. And you can find this order form. We're going to be providing hard copies of these, but you can also find PDFs of this order form on the resource page, freeharborscouting.org/popcorn/wreaths. So for this one, /wreaths. And then there's a back side of it, and that lists all of the pricing lined up with the product name. So another thing that's different, we have a few changes this year, is that we're offering online sales for the wreath sale. And this is something that Noble Valley Northwoods Wreaths put into play for this past spring with their planter sale, and it's something that we are integrating for this fall/winter, just keeping in mind the different restrictions that we may have with COVID, and just trying to practice social distancing and to stay safe and healthy. We're offering the option for units to sell products online, so you wouldn't use the hard copy of the order form that I just showed you. All of those product items would be listed online. We have a few slides that Andy Berry of Northwoods Wreaths put together. He's unable to join us today, but he did walk through a tutorial of it last week, and we're going to be having that posted online just to kind of go in depth. But I have those slides that can kind of walk through, and then Bill Knack of Noble Valley, he can also share some thoughts. Bill, did you want to walk through this, or do you want to just share some insight, and I can read through the slides if you want? Just let me know. Let's see. You're on mute, Bill. Here, I can unmute you, I think.
Okay.
Wait. One more time. Wait, still can't hear you. You try to unmute yourself. I'll leave it alone. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Due to COVID, we do a spring plant sale as well, Northwoods Wreath and Noble Valley. and we kind of did an experiment. But actually, before I even comment on that, I will say this. Our spring sale showed no decrease in sales for the groups that did the selling. Some groups did not participate, of course, but I just want to make a point that, you know, everyone's got a little apprehension about fundraising at this time with COVID, but our spring plant sale, the sales were as robust as they were the year before. However, I will get to a point, the third point, I might as well cover that now. We did kind of an experiment. Northwoods Wreaths did an online retail platform and Noble Valley did not. And Northwoods did indeed sell 29% more than Noble Valley. So I think this ability to have this online site as an option is very important. So we developed a platform that allows you, your individual pack, troop, or crew to have its own website. We go to the next slide, please. And each group will have a custom website. So, you know, Troop 10, we can personalize it and you can have links, as it says, to be shared with email and Facebook and other social media. So this is not necessarily the only site that could be used, meaning that scouts can still do the PDFs on email. They could still go door to door, but this is just to supplement those other avenues. And each scout sales can be tracked, you know, for contest or revenue recognition purposes. And we can build a custom site quickly and identify your specific product and delivery. So as India pointed out, we are going to distribute all the product this year from State Fair Park. But you, the individual group, of course, has a distribution point somewhere. And we can put that on the site as well. Mm-hmm. And as it says on the bottom, links could be also blasted to cell phone numbers for large database marketing if you wished. Mm-hmm. But again, I want to
really. Oh yeah. I just wanted to. Sorry.
Go ahead.
You go. No, you go. Go for it.
Well, I just wanted to say that we're not. Last session, someone asked if product could be shipped.
There, yep, that's what I was gonna
say. Due to FedEx and UPS rates, it just doesn't make sense. Our products are large, the wreaths are large, they're lightweight, but they're bulky. And so we get into a different database or a different pricing mechanism, and it just makes no sense to ship product. The shipping cost is more than the product. Okay.
Yeah, so, you know, just emphasizing, even though you're able to sell online, distribution of the actual products will still be in person. So like Bill said, there will be no shipping of product. However, and we'll kind of get into incentives soon in a few slides, if you are part of our top 12, then you would receive delivery, top 12 selling units across the council. Otherwise, you still have to come in and pick up your physical product, but nothing is going to be shipped.
Okay, and as I indicated before, you can get sales reports by the individual scout. The scout can go into the site and can see where they're at, if they have a goal, or if the group has a contest, an internal contest to the particular troop or pack. So it's very robust. Mm-hmm. The online sales can be combined with door-to-door. I do want to point out, it's very important that the orders on the site, on the online site, if you opt to do that, needs to be combined with any sales that were done door-to-door or off of the online site. And mm-hmm. that, the total of that has to be input into the Three Harbors site. So when you show up for distribution or pickup at State Fair and or delivery, we have, you know, all the product you need for both sites. So that is one issue that has to take place.
Right. Right. And then the setup cost.
Well, there is a one-time cost of $50, which would be added to your invoice. And I will say too, the online site is credit card only. So you would provide this link to any and all of your customers within your group, and they would go to the site, they would pick out the products they want, they would pay by credit card. And so they're paying retail. So at the end of the day, on your final invoice, we will be giving you a credit for the difference between retail and wholesale. But there is a one-time cost of $50, which would be added on to your final invoice.
And so again, we're recording this, so if you missed any of the notes Bill shared or anything that I shared, we'll be putting that up. We'll also be posting what Andy shared last week. It's generally the same thing, but in case he mentioned something that we didn't catch here, that'll be posted. And they're also working on making like a written tutorial, like a frequently asked questions sheet, so that it can walk you step by step through how to access the system and how to utilize it. So we'll be posting those resources, and that'll be up before the sale starts as well. I think we may.
I just wanted to add one thing.
Yeah.
And that is social distancing. State Fair, for those of you that were picking up at the camp, may not be familiar with State Fair, meaning where we operate and how we operate. It is the cattle barn. It's 30,000 square feet. It's got 6 overhead doors. We can do more than 6 feet. We can do 50 feet if we need to between groups. So I just want to put everyone at ease. There's plenty of room. We would have all the doors open, so it's really like an outdoor space,
Right.
actually.
Right.
Okay.
We had a question. Who pays credit card fees for online payments?
We do, Nova Valley.
Okay. All right, so no fees for using the credit cards for units.
Right.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so going into incentives for the sale. So most of these are fairly similar. We've made some slight adjustments, but all units will receive 25% commission on each sale they make, including fallen hero wreaths. So even though that's technically a donation, you would still receive 25% commission from that. So the price is listed on the order form. Once that's all totaled, then you would take 25% of that total. So, and that'll be calculated within the online platform. Blitz weekend, like I touched on earlier in the presentation, that's going to be the first weekend of the sale, that Friday through Sunday. And the top 5 Fallen Hero sellers council-wide will receive a $100 Amazon gift card. Then we have our top overall salesperson in each district. They will receive a $250 Visa gift card. And then we have our top 12 units, like I was referring to earlier. So the top 12 selling units across the council will receive free product delivery. So they wouldn't have to come to the distribution at State Fair. And the threshold for that is $4,500. So that's the minimum in order to be considered for top 12. Looks like we have another question. How many units sold $4,500 last year and received local delivery? I believe we had 10 units that made it to, that passed that 4,500 threshold. So it was more of like a top 10 than top 12 last year. Are there seller IDs to differentiate between sellers? I'm assuming that would be in regards to if you use the online platform.
Yeah.
Joy, if you want to unmute yourself, you can. Oh, online. Okay. So I don't know, Bill. I think you all did touch on that. Yeah, that you have like an ID number.
It's not necessarily an ID. It's actually the person's name, but they can go. An individual scout can go on the website and see how they are doing, or the administrator, the admin of the site, can certainly see each and every scout, the volume.
Got it. All right. And final thing we wanted to touch on with the wreath sale, just giving more details with that Fallen Hero ceremony. So again, that's going to be on Saturday, December 12th in Union Grove at Southern Wisconsin Veterans Memorial Cemetery. This is open to all Scouts, families, and friends. And again, we'll have a brief ceremony or brief program. And then Scouts, families, and their friends will be placing wreaths on the graves of veterans that have laid down their lives in service to our country. By purchasing a Fallen Hero wreath donation, you will help us honor over 12,000 fallen heroes at this cemetery. So it's a very large cemetery, and it's a really beautiful event. So we definitely encourage all to attend. Again, you don't have to have participated in the sale to go to the ceremony, and we invite Scouts to let their friends know, let their family know. And as we near the date, we will ask for volunteers to just help us set up before ceremony. So that includes like unloading bundles of wreaths and helping us just put them in stacks ahead of time so that they're all organized and laid out. So that's a volunteer opportunity for units. Will there be a sign up again to attend? Yes, so for Fallen Hero, we're not doing a minimum that you had to have sold, so we're getting rid of that because we don't want to exclude anyone. But we will have a sign up just so that we have an idea of how many people will be attending. We will be making an event link that we'll send out to units to sign up for Fallen Hero. So that concludes the wreath sale portion. Are there any questions, any lingering questions for myself or for Bill before we transition into popcorn? And you can feel free to unmute yourself if you don't want to type it, or if you can't type. Any questions before we transition?
Yeah, Eric here from PAC 142. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes.
Hi. I'm just curious to know how do we know if we've signed up for resales or not? I have a distinct feeling that we don't have somebody in charge of this, and I'm just checking to see if we are or aren't signed up.
Okay, so I can check that. You should receive, once you sign up, it should tell you thank you for registering for the sale, like a confirmation note once you press submit. But what unit are you from?
PAC 142. I believe we don't have a lead to take this on. That's why I'm asking the question now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem. So I'll go ahead and check into that for you and follow up, because we do have a registrant list. I just don't want to.
India, I just looked and they're not listed.
Okay.
As of yesterday's list, they're not listed as signed up for the wreath sale.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So would you like me to send you that link, or do you know who would be your point of contact for the sale?
Well, we're going to be having a meeting coming up, so it's something I want to bring attention to.
Okay.
So is there a deadline to sign up for reselling?
I don't think we have, Cheyenne. I don't think we have a posted deadline.
Nope, there's not.
Preferably, before the sale starts.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, any other questions for the wreath sale? Going once. All right, so we're going to transition now into the popcorn sale. So if you were just here for wreaths, you are free to go. And thank you so much for taking some time out of your night. Thank you, Bill, for being on. I'm not sure if, thank you. Yeah, I don't know if Brian Mandolin.
No, I don't think he did.
Okay, all right. But thank you all for joining, those who are here just for wreaths. And again, if you missed anything or you want some clarification, we will be posting this online. This presentation, everything's being recorded. All right.
And yeah, before everybody hangs up, this is for both wreaths and popcorn. Because we didn't do an in-person training, your district executive will be delivering the order forms and things like that for both the wreath and popcorn sale. So if you weren't able to sign up on the link for the training tonight, part of that was asking you numbers and whatnot. You can email it to the popcorn email or the WREATH email or to your district executive and let you know. But so if you're in Aurora, it's Larry Danner. If you're in Southern Shores, it's Nathan Rackers. And if you're in Red Arrow, it's Mary Caviton. Is your district executive. And in the leader's guide, their contact information is in there. And the leader guides, like India said, are up on the website for both popcorn and wreaths.
And the delivery for these materials will be before September 1st.
By September 1st, correct.
By September 1st. Okay. And so we'll be putting out more information as that solidify. Again, just to cut down on, you know, any kind of personal interaction that we usually would have, because we would usually give you materials at training in person, but since it's virtual, that's something that we've created for this year, and also just a service to you all as well, just to make things easier. So we will be following up with information regarding that. All right. Popcorn. Do you want me to jump into, okay.
Put up the other PowerPoint, please.
Got it. How do I take part of this? All right. I'm still getting used to this. Sorry. I don't know how to exit. Okay. All right. So we have a presentation for popcorn, a separate presentation that we will go into. And then, Brian, just let me know when you want me to click.
India, it's still the other presentation, not his.
You don't see it?
We don't see the other PowerPoint. It's the one with the wreaths in it. We need the other PowerPoint.
Oh, it's showing for me. Let's see. Fun technical difficulties. Sorry, give me a minute. Yeah, because it's up here. Can you see what I'm doing right now?
No.
Can you see
No.
anything? Okay.
I see like the slide deck from the original.
I see. How about now? Do you see like me scrolling?
Yeah.
Yes. I see
Okay.
Brian's PowerPoint.
Okay. There we go.
There we go. All right, Brian, we're going to let you take the floor.
All right. Thanks, everyone. This is Brian. This is my 13th year in doing this. A little bit different, obviously, but nonetheless, we're going to get you all the information that you need, tell you about a couple updates, changes, exciting things. So the first thing I just want to point out on the next slide is very much that community feel, from field to table, some farm to table. So we are one of those vendors that does everything. So we plant it, we pop it, we package it, and we ship it. So that allows us to do that customized program for the council. So that's anything from the packaging to the flavor profiles, things like that. So down to the ingredients that we use in the product, those are all sourced throughout the Midwest here. So very much a community supporting community. So very much like supporting scouting. Go ahead.
So as India had talked about in the WREATH presentation, the popcorn sale is not just a way to earn funds for a unit to enhance programs and equipment and registration and things like that, but we're also teaching values, and it's teaching responsibility and salesmanship, communication, earning your own way, self-confidence, and so hopefully we're instilling that in our scouts as they're partaking in our product sales. Next slide, India.
So the product lineup for the sale this year, again, starts at that $10 price point, drawing your attention to the caramel corn that is in the resealable bucket. The decision to do the resealable bucket there is really was really made back before COVID, actually, but it does have the Scout law and the Scout oath on it. What we wanted to do is have a leave behind product that speaks to what scouting is. So when we developed it, we wanted a positive, feel-good sort of thing. So as it sits on the kitchen table or in the pantry, when they look at that, they know what they are supporting. As we go through the rest of the product mix, you know, this is probably as close to sports as we're going to get in terms of the tins. We didn't know that back then, but, you know, the Packers, we have baseball, Bernie's Dugout with the milk chocolatey pretzels. The next thing that I'm going to draw your attention to is the Hometown Heroes Trio. So that really is a classic trio, but the design of that was, we came up with that back in March for frontline workers. So it's your factory workers, your policemen, firemen, teachers, anybody and everybody who stepped up right at the start of the pandemic. So they're all showcased in a collage around this tin. As with anything else, we have the non-popcorn options of the trail mix, the chocolates, the coffees, and then of course the military donations to round it all out. So who we're supporting with the sale itself, you can go right into the next slide. You know, the incentives that Cheyenne can talk to a little bit in motivating our scouts.
Oh,
So
sorry. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, there. So we are partnering again with the National Supply to offer our prize program and hopefully an incentive to our scouts to go out and sell. So we do have the two commission structures, the 33% if you do prizes and 35 without. This prize brochure is actually on our website as well, and you guys will get a supply of these when we deliver your order forms. But the first one starts at the $115 level and then all the way up. So we have some different, you know, there's knives and there's Legos and there's camping supplies and all sorts of different things on there. India, can you go to the next slide for me? And then we're also doing council, we're doing the Blitz weekend, just like the WREATH, only it's the weekend of the 18th, 19th, and 20th. The top five sellers from the council will receive a $100 Amazon gift card. And the proof of those get emailed to the Popcorn website. This is in the leader guide by the September 22nd. And then one change from last fall, we did this spring with the council level bonus prizes is we did away with the trips and the water parks and all of those things. And partly is because of COVID and the teams aren't playing and things like that. So we're just doing Visa gift cards, and that starts at the $750 level all the way up to $15,000 plus, where they can earn a $1,500 Visa card. Again, this is in the leader guide and kind of all spelled out. But if they don't participate or you guys don't participate in the prize, you can still earn the Blitz weekend and the council level bonus prizes. Brian will talk here in a minute about the winner circle with Pecatonica, but hopefully these are things that will entice your scouts to go out and sell and set goals and shoot for sales to earn that next level. And also one thing that we run across is even if your unit doesn't do prizes, you're still going to need to go online and order patches. We're not going to have any patches at the council to give you. So even if you're not doing the prize program, you're still going to need to go on to the portal and order the patches for the fall. Next slide.
So the Pecatonica Winner Circle, one of the biggest additions to this is the Amazon gift card at the $2,500 level. So, you know, the scouts that are making it into the Winner Circle are consistently making it into the Winner Circle, so allowing them a different avenue than just Best Buy. The $5,000 level, it's the newest PlayStation console, PlayStation 5, the newest Xbox Series X, both due out this fall. So as Cheyenne said, those units that are choosing, whether you choose prizes or no prizes, any scout hitting the $2,500 or $5,000 level get their choice of prize here. So,
and we just had that question with the council bonus prizes. It's the same thing. If you're doing prizes or no prizes, you can still earn those council bonus level prizes.
So as we look at how to sell, we're going to use the acronym of SELL, with S being the tasting session. So whether or not the unit is getting together sampling product, talking about the flavors. What we want to do, you can go to the next slide, is educate the scouts on what the flavors are. So if we're not going to do the tasting, at least talk through those flavors about what is sea salt splash, it's fudge coated caramel corn, using those descriptions. So whether we're selling through email, through the phone, through Facebook, face-to-face, we can speak intelligently to what we're selling and answer the consumer's questions about what is our favorite flavor. The educating the scouts on the timeline. So again, using the council timeline, backdating that so that we have all of our ducks in a row, orders tabulated, whatever we need, so that we can enter that into the website in a timely manner. Leading with sales goals. Again, bring this up every year. The math is just consistent with those that set a goal sell more than those that do not. So whatever that goal is, using that, leveraging the units plan with the scouts, the leaders, and the families, making sure that everyone understands, whatever we're selling for, what is the super activity, whether it's in 2020 or spring or fall of 2021, start raising those funds now, making sure everyone has equal hand in accomplishing that goal. So the distribution of the materials, as Cheyenne said on the next slide, will come from your DEs. So that has anything from the money envelopes, the tasting kit. Again, if you're not meeting as a unit, guess what? You just have movie night popcorn, courtesy of Pecatonica River Popcorn. So sales banners, Super Saturday prizes, the flyers, take to work, and door hangers that I'll go over here in a second. So the next slide, in the last several years, we've always supplied every unit with a Coroplast sign. So that's that plastic looking sign, a bullet board. This year, we actually went with vinyl banners. So a couple different reasons. So this should draw more attention to you as a unit, as I step through a few of the different ways to sell, but any unit participating in the sale gets a vinyl banner. The next slide on how to sell. The take order flyer has just been redesigned. It's it's consistent with, you'll notice the caramel corn bucket, the raw popping corn, the patriotic Americana, that sort of thing. So the take order flyer has 30 lines on it, one for each customer. And that, for anybody who is new, is typically what you take door to door. So you record your sales there, whether or not you collect the money, and then you come back and deliver that product at a later date. The take to work tent is a silent seller that you give to mom or dad, or you take it to a community building, a place of worship, you put it on a table, and essentially people walking by write down their own information, you come back and pick it up, and again, you deliver that information to the addresses that are on the back of that tent. And then something new is the door hanger. So the door hanger is meant to be used for those that need a little bit more time making a decision in terms of ordering, or who need that little bit more social distancing. So when you're going door to door, the idea is not just to run by as many houses as you can and put a door knocker on, or a door hanger on it. Still ring those doorbells, knock on those doors. One of the things that we're hearing is that those with video doorbells may be dodging people knocking on their door. But if they see that you're leaving something, they'll come out. There's a sense of urgency on the back of the door hanger in which you can write some information in. So one of those lines we have, I will be returning on X date. We wanted to make this an active sale. We didn't want to give the consumer a way to get out of this saying, oh, they left something for me, I'll just do it sometime. You're providing a sense of urgency. You're going to come back in a week, in 3 days, whatever it might be. They can leave it on their doorknob or on the front door. You can take it that way, or they can hand it back to you. As we do the selling, some points to ponder, I guess. The take order flyer may be more socially responsible in not handing that flyer to 30 different people. Maybe holding that flyer and writing it down yourself, taking down their information. The door hangers, the take to works, and the sales flyers available on the council website. But also when you log into your unit dashboards, there's now a link called files. So you can print out as many of these as you'd like. You can share them through email if you want to as well. So the door hangers, the best way to think of those is one customer per door hanger. So there's one line on the back. It actually is in portrait, so it goes up and down in that you record their order, and then you tabulate it just like you do a take order.
Sorry, really quick. I think we had a question. With COVID, will there be store sales set up? I think that's the next slide, though.
I'll cover a little bit of that, yeah.
Okay.
So as we look at how we have typically sold in front of stores, box stores, whatever it might be, it is ultimately up to those businesses whether or not they're going to allow you to sit in front of those entrance and exit stores, things of that nature. So we have to be a little bit more creative. So when things started shutting down, Chick-fil-A did an amazing job about curbside or bringing things to your vehicle. So social distancing. So looking at the show and sell concept, instead of setting up in front of an entrance and exit to a building, maybe thinking about setting up at an entrance to an exit of a parking lot. So as these people are coming in or out, just like those holiday shows where they're selling Christmas trees in the corner of the parking lot, that sort of a concept. So whether you set up 3 tables distanced apart from each other, one where you collect the order, one where you pay for the order, the other one where you give them the product. You can go as far as a drive-through. So the consumer never even has to get out of their vehicle. If you have a selfie stick or have access to purchase a $4 or $6 selfie stick, you have a card reader, you can load your inventory within these card readers and then allow those consumers to pick, pay, and then you put it in the back of their vehicle. So that is the drive-through concept. The pop-up is, again, that parking lot aspect, but also using technology that's already out there. So there's an app called Nextdoor. So that app is a community-based app. So it is based on your zip code. So you could go on there and post that, pack 1234 is selling at the corner of Elm and Maple on Saturday from 2 to 6. Come by and support us. Again, talking about community, supporting community, that's how you're going to get to your customer base there. The show and deliver, again, for anybody who is new, is that you're taking product on consignment, ordering it up front, you're not paying up front, but then using that and collecting money and handing over product in one transaction. Take order is that door-to-door concept. And then the online sales bleeds into the next few slides. So the next slide is really a tutorial video. We won't watch it during this presentation, but there are a few tutorial videos at prpopcorn.com under helpful tips. So how to sign up a scout for a seller ID, how to use Kernel Tracker, which is I'll cover at the end of this, how to navigate the Popcorn site itself. So anybody who is familiar with the site, maybe you need a refresher on how to resend the email for your scouts. About 1.5 minutes into this 3-minute video, I will cover, or Jess in our front office will cover how to do that. So next, the online store itself. Again.
Wait, sorry. Oh, sorry. No, someone just wanted to confirm the name of the app. Yep, and we said.
So again, free shipping on all online orders, as the presenter before had said. With the expectation of online sales is going to be somewhat, I think, through the roof. Last year, between 18 and 19, Pecatonica saw 119% increase in online sales. we're expecting 10 times that for the fall 20 sale. So no deliveries. The online store actually is open now. It will close on December 7th. All orders will be guaranteed delivery by Christmas. One of the small changes to the online store is emails would be sent out to the unit leader and to the scout at time of delivery instead of at time of order. Hopefully to cut down on the confusion of, I know somebody has ordered, I don't see them in my dashboard. The next slide is the online offerings themselves. Looking at, if I was in front of you, I'd say, do you see a theme here? Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient. So we've followed the law here and created our mix. So again, going with those most common flavors, most requested flavors, and then adding in some finer chocolates of toffees, the cordials, the clusters, things like that. So 12 different options, some popcorn, some non-popcorn, some combinations, as well as military donations in increments of $10. Again, free shipping. And if you signed up a scout last year for online seller ID, they are in the system. You do not have to sign them up again. I would encourage you to resend the seller ID email to them. I have made some updates to that. If they choose to use the email and forward on to family and friends, there is a Shop Now button within that email that will auto-populate that seller ID so the consumer does not have to enter that. Of course, if they share it on Facebook, I have no control over that. So next, for anybody who is not signed up for any kind of credit card processing whatsoever, I employ you to do that for the fall 20 sale. Last year, we partnered with payanywhere.com. This year, we have a partnership with Square. The reason for the change is Square has robust reporting. It has an easier application process and has a plethora of knowledge base videos and customer service. So the rates are competitive. This is available at prpopcorn.com under helpful tips as well. There's a link on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, square up PR Popcorn 1. If you are signing up and you don't have an account with Square, you can get one of those free card readers and then up to $1,000 free processing dollars. So essentially, as soon as you start the application process, that clock starts. You have 6 months in getting that $1,000 of processing fees help. So underneath this document on our website, there's probably a 12-page document on screenshots on how to apply for this as well. So as we go through the remainder of the, I don't know, maybe 6 slides really quickly, the next one is comments, questions, comments. I'll blow by that one for a second. The next one is a Scout Boss tutorial. Again, it's a 4-minute video on how to navigate the site, looking at different things. So again, view at your leisure. You go 2 more slides and I'm going to talk about Kernel Tracker. That is an inventory management app. So you may be using something yourselves in terms of Excel or something else that you're doing. This is just something that you can have on your phone. The next slide just gives you some different things that you can do within that app: receive from the council, give to the scouts, return, things of that nature. So that's what I have, ladies and gentlemen. What do you have for me? I saw things popping up, and if I try to read those, I lose my spot, so I look away.
We just had the question of how are the Square Reader fees charged once you pass the $1,000 mark? Is it taken out of the commission or a separate bill from Square?
I would follow up with Square on that. I do not claim to be an expert on credit card readers. I can. Is somebody answering it, or should I follow up?
No, it's another question.
Okay. I can find out, and I will report back to Cheyenne and or Cortland and they can share it if that works for everyone.
The next question is, if a scout moved from a pack to a troop, does their seller ID somehow move with them?
Does not. So we want to make sure that historical data stays with that unit, and that in history, that scout was with that unit. If I move that scout within the system in that entire ID, then I'm skewing those historical numbers. So if they have moved, it is best to sign them up for a new ID.
And then someone replied that squared is deducted from their payment to you in the previous question.
Right.
The next question is no selling and pick and save. So we have been reaching out to Roundy's and Pick and Save every 2 weeks. As of right now, they have not made a decision on whether or not we're going to be able to do show and sell with them. So as of right now, we are not selling with Pick and Save and Festival Foods. If that changes, I'll let you know. But as of right now, no, we're not doing that this fall, unfortunately.
Underneath that link on your unit dashboards that I talked about, there's the PDF files. There's also standalone images if anybody's using card readers and wants to upload those images for your store. We also have a couple Facebook frames that say Pecatonica River Popcorn, Popcorn Time. So if anybody's familiar with frames and how to do those on Facebook, keyword Pecatonica.
There's a couple more questions on show and sell. Yes, you need to do your entire show and sell order up front. We're not going to be placing a late order, and we are not going to have any inventory at council. So if you go through your show and sell, then it'll have to move to take order. And then how can we know where we can do parking lot and drive-through sales? That's really going to be up to the unit to determine where you can do that, and you'll have to follow any kind of local and community guidelines as far as COVID and things are concerned on that one. Right now, we don't have a list. Show and sell orders are due next week on the 19th online in the PRP site. I don't know if Piggly Wiggly, that's not something that the council sets up. That's something the unit would have to reach out to individually to see if they'd let you sell.
A question here.
Go ahead.
Curious to know on the form, the spreadsheet form that we could use to track all of our scouts from last year. Is there a way to identify if they are doing prizes or not doing prizes at the end total result? So it looks as if, let's say they sell $765 worth of popcorn. Is there a way to bridge that 33 or 35% at the end to show what each scout would take after the sale? That was confusing for us last year. We actually had to go out and figure that. Unless I absolutely missed something on that form last year.
Which form? I'm not sure what form you're talking about.
So if you're tracking all your scouts in a sales form, there was a Pecatonica form that came out last year where you could track everybody as far as like how many items they sold, like 7 of this product, and then it totaled it up, gave you a grand total. Let's say, saying if it was $1,200, the grand total was $1,200. Is there a way to show what percent of $1,200 is on that form? Am I not being clear enough? Maybe my question is
Eric,
backwards.
so I have access to that form. If you want to directly manipulate that, I can provide you the password and unlock it. Otherwise, if you want to email me directly, I can do whatever you want me to do with it.
Wonderful. Can I grab your email from you?
Easiest is pops@PR Popcorn. That'll come right to me.
pops@prpopcorn.com.
Yep.
Eric, let me restate your question. It sounds like you're trying to do either commission or prizes for each individual scout. I thought it was a unit-wide decision. They either had to do, the entire unit was either commission or the entire unit was prizes.
That's correct. We did with prizes last year, sir, and for some reason it was my first year
No problem.
Okay,
Thank
we had
you.
another question come through. Is unsold show and sell popcorn still returnable with no penalty? As long as it's not damaged or open, we'll take it back. And the popcorn sale it starts on September 11th and ends the same time as WREATH. I apologize, I don't have my date slide up here.
Have it.
All of the dates are
Pull it up.
on,
I can try to pull it up.
it's back on the original PowerPoint.
Gotta try and get to it. This is
So worth mentioning as we talk about the returns is, you know, of course, I say it every year, we have chocolate, popcorn. It's late summer, so making sure that we don't leave that in our cars, garages, things like that where it can melt. So just be cognizant of that is all.
So here are the popcorn dates for this fall. Like Brian said, the online sale is already started. Show and sells are due on the 19th, and distribution will be September 10th and 11th, and the sale starts then on September 11th. The Blitz weekend for popcorn is September 18th, 19th, and 20th, with the Blitz submissions due on September 22nd. And then the sale ends on October 21st. Take orders for the units are due online October 23rd, and then any show and sell popcorn that you don't use to fill those take orders, the return date is October 24th. And then take order distribution will be November 10th and 11th. Prize orders, that link will open on October 24th. And then prize orders are due on December 3rd, as well as payment. And different from last fall is we won't release any prizes until we receive final payment from the units as well. Last year we sent out prizes before we got payment, and this year it's going to be we need the payment before we're going to release any prizes, including patches. These dates were all online. They're in the guidebook. If anything changes because of COVID, we'll keep it up to date. We'll email you. That's something else we're going to be doing this fall, is continuing on with the newsletter. We have a new marketing person. Right now we have Coakley as we're working on a southern warehouse, but with COVID it's been hard to secure. So right now distribution is at Coakley.
And then Cheyenne, I have, let's see, do you want me to go through the resource slide from this original presentation or anything else? Oh, did you hear me?
Oh, sorry, I had on myself on mute. Yeah, you can skip down. Brian, here's a question for you. I don't have my Scout seller ID. Where can I find that?
Is it a parent or a unit?
Kara, is it a parent or a unit? Parent.
So the unit leader has a roster of all those scouts within their inside of their unit dashboards. So you can go into there, click on sign up a scout for seller ID, and there's your roster. Again, that tutorial video, you can click edit next to each scout and then click update without actually updating anything. That tricks the system and pushes that seller ID out again.
So these are resources for both wreaths and popcorn. It's all on the same website, if you will. So the leader guides, the order forms, the table tents and the door hangers, all that kind of stuff is on our, like India was saying, 3upperscouting.org, either /popcorn or wreaths. And here's the longer version here. All your materials will be delivered by your district executive by September 1st. So the key there is making sure you're actually signed up for the sale so that we know you're selling, so that we can make sure that we're in communication with you and get you guys your stuff in a timely manner. We'll be doing the newsletter. I'm not sure how often or if it's going to be combined. We may break it back out where there's a popcorn one and there's a wreath one. We're not 100% sure. We're going to try and use Facebook more. And then here's the emails. India and my emails directly are on the bottom, but for example, the next couple of weeks, we're both going to be gone. So I would encourage you to use the popcorn at 3harborscouting.org or the Reese at 3harborscouting.org, as there's multiple people that will monitor those emails and get back to you. Brian, here's a question for you for show and tell. Can you tell us which items are the most popular?
I could look specifically at the council, but traditionally it's the popping corn, the $10 item, which is the caramel corn, microwaves, cheeses, and maybe a chocolate. I'd probably steer clear of, the larger $50 items. I think there could be huge success with the Hometown Heroes trio, just because it is showcasing first or frontline workers. So it's really based on price point, differs by community, and who's been affected, who's working, that sort of thing. So take that into account. But typically it's the caramel, the cheese, microwave, and maybe a chocolate.
Here's another question for you. Would parents get a square or only a unit? The square reader.
If anybody else wants to answer that before me. I think it should be at the unit level, and then it should be tied to the unit account so that is not seen by the IRS as taxable income for the individual. Does anybody disagree with me?
I'm sorry, can you state the question again, please?
The question was, would parents get a square or only a unit?
I believe it's just units. It's been expressed to me that we have them, but I've never seen them available.
Yeah, so again, Sean just posted a response there. He's seen things both scenarios. Typically from presentations that I've done, usually it rests at the unit level, and then it's tied to the unit account, tied to that chartered organization for a nonprofit. There are thresholds as an individual. I believe it's $20,000. If you start passing more than that through a card reader, you could be taxed, seen as taxable income. Again, if you have specific questions, people at Square and their customer service is top notch in my book. So pose those questions. Don't take it from the popcorn guy.
Any other questions? Otherwise, that wraps up our training presentation for this evening.
And again, you can unmute yourself or type in the chat. Oh, I think we just got something. Okay. All right.
So again, the traditional show and sell, if we think past the traditional concept of show and sell, and you do pop-ups or drive-throughs, things of that nature, so that you're not on somebody's doorstep multiple times or things like that, then the Square Reader makes sense. So you're capturing that money, you're not tracking it down, have no idea what in 2 months' time, if it's going to be, what is that going to look like in terms of tracking down money, you're holding on to products, things like that. Outside of popcorn, you can use card readers to collect fees and whatever else you may be doing within your units, dues and whatever. So it goes past popcorn. Certainly, it's not a requirement. Absolutely, you can do popcorn without it. It is completely your decision.
Any other questions? Okay. Wait, was there one? I think this one just came. No? Okay. That's all. Cheyenne, would you like to look over this one?
Oh, I guess one of the things we were talking about, just because we're in such an uncertain time right now, that if you have any best practices that you run across and want to share with other people, let us know. You know, if you're wanting to share anyway. I mean, we're kind of all in this together, as they say, and you know, we're going to have to be creative. Let's put it that way. I mean, I think there's ways that we can still have a really good and fun sale, and you know, we put our heads together, if you will, and share with each other.
And if you do think of any ideas later on, feel free to communicate that to us through email if you want, or you can call us or not, and we can share that out with units as well if you don't have anything at this moment. Okay. Other than that, well, we kind of covered our questions. But if there's nothing else, I want to thank everyone again for participating. Again, taking time out of your night. Thank you to Cheyenne. Thank you to Brian for also speaking and answering questions and sharing insight. And if there's nothing else, then I will say this meeting is adjourned. And I hope everyone has a great evening. And we'll be reaching out to you all soon.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Stay safe.
Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.